Hello everybody, welcome back to Dave's Garage 249. So I just thought I'd give an update on where I'm at on the Chevelle project with changing the fuel line and the transmission lines and moving everything. So I'll give you a overview of what I got done so far. Right now I'm waiting for parts. Hoses and fittings are on their way. Hopefully they're here Monday, and that'll give me time to get everything in because there's a big car show Wednesday that we want to do. So here's what I wound up doing. This isn't the very best thing. If you're building a car from scratch, you probably would want to avoid doing this. But what I wound up doing is I had to cut a hole in the floor, and then that bulkhead right there, we're going to send the fuel line and the positive battery cable line through there, and then that hole naturally will get a rubber grommet around it. And I had to make the hole long because as you transition up from the frame rail and up into that, if you had 90 degrees there, it would hump way out, and it would also, likely to kink because the new fuel line is going to be nylon braided, not steel braided. So that's what I've got there. So here you can see on top of the frame structure where they attach the back half, there's a channel underneath the floor. And so what I did is I pulled the fuel pump trigger wire out and the MSD hot and ground wires, which are I go right straight to the battery on those, back all the way back into the passenger compartment, and then brought them all through as one bundle instead of two different routings. And then I will have a series of these clamps and the fuel line, the battery cable, and all of these three wires that operate the main systems of the car. They will be all in one bundle, and there'll probably be another one of those clamps there, and then probably two more, and then you lose one of them. Actually, you lose the fuel line here, and then this is where the fuel pump fitting is, and then go on back up into the back of the car. So I had to, hopefully everything will work out good. I think it's going to. I mocked it all up using the original fuel line, so I know that it'll pass through, and I know the battery cable fits. And a word though about having the fuel line exposed in the interior of the car. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build a cover for that, because that's probably not the best way to do things. But being that I didn't build the car from the beginning, but there's two cross members up in here, and there was just no good way to feed that fuel line up in between those two. There just wasn't enough clearance to do it. So and another thing I had to do was notch out this fender tub, which is no big deal, but I want that fuel line to be as far from the tire as possible, and when it transitions from the outside to the inside. And typically, like if I was going to build a car, and because I've built a couple of these things, and I have a pretty good notion, but what I would do if I built one is I would probably bore like 1.25 inch hole right through that cross member, or bigger, and then sleeve it and weld it, and then make that a pass-through for all of my things like wires and fuel lines and battery cables. Then you wouldn't encounter all this snaking everything all through the car. So I've done quite a bit of cleanup work under here too. It's that old exhaust system blowing down just blew crud and dirt and dust up on everything constantly. Anytime I get it cleaned up and take it to one car show, and it'd just be filthy again. Okay, so getting around to the trunk, here's where things come up through the trunk. Still got the positive battery cable lead to get up in here, and I had to separate the trigger wire for the relay from the switch under the dash. That's what that is. But I've learned over the years not to zip tie and button all this stuff up until I've got everything in place the way I want it. And so we ground the MSD there, and then that's the hot lead for the MSD. So kind of a can't miss situation with MSD. So here's another thing I want to talk about too is keeping things kind of neat and tidy in the garage. Needless to say, I don't have a large area here. I built a whole back half Mustang race car in a smaller area than this. But what's important is that you pick up after yourself and you keep things kind of neat, tidy, and organized. And clean up frequently, stop, put your tools away. Don't have a lot of clutter so you're not tripping over things or falling over things. And it still is, it's pretty doable. I thought I would have room for a hoist in here, but I don't. The builder put a ceiling in, which I kind of didn't want to do, but he kind of said that the code or whatever, he'd had to do it. So I don't know. I've got more room over here, and I've got another set of benches over here and my toolbox and stuff. So if need be, I could probably do stuff over here, but we keep our family ride over here, so it's kind of a thing. And I have my collection of old model kits up here, so it's kind of a man cave garage deal. So all my old toys and stuff. So that's kind of the environment I work in. I didn't put in a big stereo. I just take advantage of Wi-Fi now, and then just got an antenna TV up here. So we've got we did away with the DishNet and we went with all antenna TV, and then we just use the internet and stream stuff. So saved us some money. So that's about all I got for this one. Hopefully parts will get here tomorrow or Tuesday. We got a car show Wednesday, but I'm not gonna jam things together and embarrass myself by showing up with some leak or having something happen. So if it gets pressed too much for time, I just will take my time and finish it up where I know it's right, and we'll take the Mustang to the car show instead. So that's all I got. Hope you enjoyed this, and please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video.